Welcome to The Explainer. The railway is one of our oldest industries, right? Well, today we're going to explore how it's about to be completely reinvented. We're talking three distinct phases of artificial intelligence that will take it from a simple, helpful assistant all the way to a godlike architect that literally rebuilds the entire system from the ground up. All right, so let's break this down. Think of it like a three-act play. Act 1 is the AI that's already starting to show up. We'll call it the assistant. Then things get really interesting in Act 2 with an AI that becomes our colleague. And for the finale, we're jumping into a future that honestly sounds like something straight out of sci-fi, where AI becomes the architect of a transportation system we can barely even imagine. So, here's the plan for today. We'll walk through each of these three AI phases, see how they're going to shake up the railway industry, and tackle that big, critical question. Where do we as humans fit into all this? Let's get right into it. Okay, phase 1. This is what's happening right now and will pretty much define the next decade, up to around 2030. We're in the era of artificial narrow intelligence, or ANI for short. The easiest way to think about it, it's the ultimate AI assistant, built to make us better at the jobs we're already doing. So what exactly is ANI? Well, imagine a specialist who is absolutely world-class at one and only one thing. It's a hyper-focused expert. It could be an AI that does nothing but analyze sensor data from thousands of miles of track, or one that watches a camera feed 24/7 to spot tiny cracks humans would miss. Because it's so good at these specific, repetitive jobs, it's the perfect digital sidekick for a complex system like a railway. And take a look at how this plays out across different departments. What's so interesting here is that ANI isn't really replacing people. Not yet, anyway. It's more of a force multiplier. For train operators, it's like a co-pilot that never gets tired, detecting fatigue. For the maintenance crews, it's a fortune teller, predicting when a part is going to fail long before it actually does. You see the pattern, right? ANI handles the boring, repetitive, data-crunching stuff, and that lets humans shift from doing the grunt work to supervising the system and analyzing what the AI finds. So if you're working in this industry, what's the survival strategy? Well, the key thing to remember is that roles will adapt, not just vanish. It's all about learning to work with these new AI tools. That might mean you become a data analyst, the person who actually makes sense of what the AI is reporting. Or you could double down on the human stuff, the empathy and complex problem solving that AI just can't do. Or, hey, someone's got to fix the robots, right? You could be the tech who maintains all this new hardware. All right, now let's jump forward in time. We're looking at around 2030 and beyond. This is where everything, and I mean everything, starts to change. We're entering phase 2, the arrival of AGI, or artificial general intelligence. And notice the shift in title. We're going from assistant to colleague. And this slide just nails the difference. It's a huge leap. With ANI, the AI assists the driver. With AGI, the AI becomes the driver. ANI might spot a problem on the track and send an alert. AGI spots the problem, analyzes the options, and solves it all by itself. We've moved past just having a powerful tool. Now we have a powerful colleague, one that can reason and act independently, just like a human. I mean, let that sink in for a moment. We're talking about an AI that can do basically any intellectual task a person can. This isn't just about a train following a set schedule on a clear day. No. This is an AI that can navigate a train through a freak blizzard it's never seen before, instantly calculate a new route around a landslide, and maybe even figure out what's wrong with its own engine and start a self-repair sequence. It's a whole different ballgame. And the fallout from this? Well, it's radical. Just look at the employment effects column on this chart. You see words like near extinction, extremely high, disruptive. That's not subtle. We're looking at a future where entire careers, jobs that have been the backbone of the railway for over 100 years, drivers, mechanics, station staff, they're all projected to become obsolete. Why? Because the AGI-powered system can run the whole show by itself. So this begs a pretty big question, right? If an AI can do the job better, faster, and safer than a human, what are we for? And the answer seems to be that our new roles will focus on everything the AGI can't do. An AGI can't be held legally responsible if something goes wrong. It can't design a travel experience that creates a deep emotional connection. And it can't make those tricky ethical calls, weighing pure cold efficiency against what's good for a community. Our value stops being about technical skill and starts being about human wisdom. Okay, buckle up. Now we're heading into the final act. This is the most profound, most mind-bending phase of all, projected for 2040 and beyond. Welcome to the age of ASI, artificial super intelligence. And honestly, this is where the very rules of reality start to feel a little flexible. And I'll be honest, this is a tough concept to get your head around. An ASI isn't just like a super genius human. No. The difference in intelligence is more like the difference between us and an ant. It's an intellect so vast it could solve problems we don't even have the words to describe yet. It could literally rewrite the books on physics and engineering. So a natural question is, how does an intelligence like that actually interact with the physical world? It's not going to be using cranes and construction crews. The game changer, the primary tool of an ASI, is predicted to be something else entirely: swarms of microscopic autonomous nanorobots. And with these nanorobots, the whole idea of maintenance just goes away. I mean, just try to imagine it. Tracks that never rust because nanobots are constantly replacing atoms. Tunnels that never crack. Trains that are perpetually brand new. The entire infrastructure basically becomes a living thing, constantly healing and regenerating itself. We could even see a train literally change its shape as it speeds up, becoming perfectly aerodynamic to get rid of all resistance and noise. It's wild. So yeah, let that sink in for a second. In a world with a perfect self-healing system run by a practically godlike intelligence, the concept of a human job in the railway industry becomes completely extinct. There's nothing to operate, nothing to fix, nothing to manage. It's all done. So, what's left for us? When every single technical problem is solved, our role has to shift in a massive way. We stop being operators and managers, and we become curators. Curators of experience, curators of culture. Our new job is to ask the big philosophical questions. Why are we taking this trip? What is the human story behind this journey? We become the guardians of meaning, making sure this perfectly efficient system is still serving human values, like connection, serendipity, and discovery. You can see the pattern here, right? This entire evolution is a story about redefining our role. It systematically pushes us away from the nuts and bolts, from the how of it all, and forces us to focus on the why. And this quote just says it all. Once the how of transport becomes a solved problem, our energy shifts completely. The most important question is no longer how do we get from A to B, but why are we going in the first place? And what makes the journey worthwhile? All right, let's zoom out and put everything side by side. It's time for a final summary of these three incredible revolutionary phases. This chart really lays it all out, doesn't it? You can trace the progression so clearly. Look at how as the AI's intelligence goes from task-specific to superhuman, and the robotics go from simple machines to self-healing nanobots, our human role is forced to climb the ladder of abstraction. We go from being an AI tool operator to an AI team commander, and finally to the definer of purpose and ethics. We leave the world of physical labor completely behind. And that brings us to one last really big question to chew on. Once technology gives us a perfect, flawless system, no delays, no breakdowns, zero inefficiency, what's left? It could be that all those messy, imperfect human things, our need for a good story, our random connections with strangers, our love for things just because they're old, those inefficiencies might just turn out to be our most valuable assets of all.